Oriire fun owo. Good tidings to you. I pray that you're feeling awake, aware, and elevated in mind, body, and spirit, wherever you are and whatever may be happening around you. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. I am Baba Umar, Oluranse Emese, voice of the MSA, member of the Isoro Traditional Council of Chiefs, Oluwo of the House of Umar, and Babalawo of Ile-Ife, Orisa. Thank you once again for joining us for another lesson in our video blog series. I invite you to click the links below to become a subscriber to this channel, click the notification button, and stay up to date. And also share this resource with your family, your friends, associates, and anyone you feel may benefit from this wisdom. Homage to the one who sends and to those who are sent. Homage to Orisa and Egun. Our topic for this video review from my April 2017 blog post is "The way is not always straight." So in my last post, we spoke about our destiny and our fate and the role our Oriire plays in assisting us to align our choices and therefore our fate, the consequence of our choices, with our destiny. When we consult Ifa to assist us in that alignment, the guidance we're given may not always make sense to us. After all, if it all made sense, we'd have no need to consult in the first place. Ifa does not really challenge us, but life does, because the way we function mentally makes life dynamic. Consider this. The brain thrives on associative links, connecting one thought or idea or piece of data or fact to another. The mind needs to complete pictures to fill in the blanks. It doesn't like void. And the imagination loves stories. We each have a story that we're telling ourselves about who we are. So the brain, the mind, and the imagination work in an integrated kind of way to create the reality that we perceive to be taking place around us and through us. And so the journey that we take in following Ifa's guidance may not be along the straight and smooth road because of what we think about the guidance. Perhaps a story can help to clarify this important point. The 256 Orisha Odu provide the seeker with wisdom and guidance in the form of stories that are at once the Yoruba history of the beginning and at the same time a library of metaphors and analogies that give insight and solutions to the affairs of human beings. Ifa provides food for your brain, your mind, and your imagination. So we say, BOA, BOA, Ru Ifa Soro. Like Proverbs is how Ifa speaks. Here is one of the stories my teacher, the late Baba Chief Adele Khan, shared during one of his visits with me many years ago. Where the commentary on becoming a Babalawo, which is available on the website, speaks to the training and responsibilities and character of the Babalawo. This particular story that I'm getting ready to share with you speaks to the faith the devotee must have in Olofi-dumare, in Orisa, in Egun, and in their Babalawo. This Ifa story is called The Thief. It's a wonderful story. I love this story. There was a man and his wife who lived in a prosperous town. a town that was prosperous for everyone but him. Everywhere he looked, the people were flourishing, but his own condition remained the same, poor. In time, the man's condition drove him to consult with his Babalawo. Ifa advised him that in order to be successful, he had to follow in the profession of his father. This honest man was somewhat confounded by the Ifa reading and went home to discuss the matter with his wife. "How can you follow in the footsteps of your father," she asked, "when your father was a thief?" The man, sincere in his faith, and his wife, sincere in her love, agreed that he should follow the instructions of the Babalawo. They devised a plan. The man would travel to the nearest town, enter the king's palace, and steal something of great value. One night the man snuck into the king's chamber. Meanwhile, the king had taken a younger wife and was spending private time with her in another room. However, the king's other wives were quite jealous and angry over his decision and actions, and were devising a plan to poison the king. As the man snuck into the king's chamber, the group of angry wives came in, and he hid in the ceiling rafters. As he hung above their head, he heard their plan and saw them place poison in the king's food. When the king returned, the wives began encouraging him to eat. Come on, Baba, eat. And the king got ready to put some of the poisoned food in his mouth. Just as he did, the man fell from the ceiling. Everyone jumped back in surprise. The king demanded the man's identity and an explanation for his presence in the king's palace and chamber. The man explained his circumstance and what he had overheard. In gratitude for saving his life, the king gave the man both wealth and status, and he was allowed to return home to his wife. What a wonderful reminder that Olofi-dumare, Orisa, and Orun, heaven, have no desire to harm us or to lead us astray. Like the circumstances of my journey to Ile-Ife, which you can read on the website. It's one of the opening pages on the Ifa source, Ile-Ife website. The path that Ifa chooses for us to arrive at our intended destination may not be straight, and in fact, sometimes it looks like we're being asked to travel in the opposite direction. When I went to Ile-Ife, little did I know that my driver was going to end up killing a young man through no fault of his own, but nonetheless it happened, and it turned my trip upside down for that, especially for that first day that I was in Lagos. So in this story, the man's physical Ori, his Oriire, asked him, "How could you, an honest man, become a thief?" His spiritual Ori, his Oriire, asked, "How could you, a faithful man, not trust the Babalawo and follow the guidance of Ifa?" I often remind my spiritual godchildren, trust the process. Ifa ki ipuro, Ifa does not lie. Ifa ki iseke, Ifa does not mislead or deceive. Ohun ti yo osele nifa unwi, Ifa simply says what will happen. Orisa never break their promises. Certainly the decision that the man and his wife came to was not made easily. Their decision was made based on their faith in Ifa and the knowledge that what the man's Ori permitted to come through in the reading was intended to guide him towards his destiny, even though it seemed contrary to his righteous nature. Certainly the man and his wife had to overcome their fears and practical concerns in order to make the right decision and for him to go out to steal from a king. That is what you and I have to do each and every day of our lives. We have to choose. Some of our choices are pretty clear-cut and easy. Some are clouded with uncertainty and difficulty. And some are downright scary and surrounded by a veil of mystery. But nonetheless, the only way to move forward is to make a decision, to choose. So Ifa does not guarantee that our path will be straight and without obstacles and challenges. Ohun tiyo osele nifa unwi. Ifa simply says what will happen. In fact, what Ifa says is that there must be and will be a balancing of the good and bad, the positive and the negative in life. That is the divine law, part of the architecture of Olodumare's creation. What Ifa guarantees is that if we follow the guidance we are given, allowing or including performing the prescribed ebos, we will travel through experiences that will enable us to learn lessons, to grow, to fulfill our purpose for coming into the world, our destiny. In the unknowability of the darkness, we must listen to the guidance of our Ori and then move ahead with confidence in our eventual success. In the clarity of the light, we must look carefully and then move ahead with confidence in our eventual success. Always seek to move ahead. We have a saying in Ifa, Baoku ishe otan, where there is life, there is still hope. As you are in the process of making those important and sometimes difficult decisions on your life journey, trust in the coherent relationship you're creating between your heart and your brain. The alignment between your Ori Inu, your spiritual Ori, and your Ori Ode, your physical Ori. And trust in the guidance of Ifa and your Babalawo. You are a magnificent being. You are here to choose, to learn, to experience, to grow, to transform, and to expand. Nawa, Niogun Ibimi, expansion is your birthright. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Ibashe Orunmila, Ileri Ikpin, Ibikeji Olodumare. Homage to Orunmila, witness of fate, second to the Creator. Ori Miyape Sen, my Ori, the most precious. Ise Olorun Tobi, God's work is great and mighty. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Ki Olodumare Orisha ati egun, Fifone ni, Itona imoye ati opo ire. May Olodumare, Orisha, and ancestors bestow on you guidance, wisdom, and abundant blessings. Ifo Kanbale, peace of mind from Olodumare. Ajo Lo, Ajo Bo. We go out together, we return together. Ashe, Ashe, Asheo. Don't forget, Click the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. Click the notification button so that you can get up-to-date notices when we post new videos. And if your heart speaks it, click that like button, your way of communicating with YouTube's algorithms and making sure that Ile-Ife Orisa blog and this information on our YouTube videos gets more prominence on the YouTube site. Thank you. Peace and love. Stay safe. See you in our next video. Ashe. Ashe. Ashe.